is a nusach hitpalu, something like that. I'm not sure we finished it.
No, we started Beza Nusach Hitpalu. Yeah. So let's start again. How should they conduct themselves? Obviously, anybody in private can daven according to their own nusach. And Ashayla Ketzadin Hagshatz, Ma Yesijat Tefillah. Ariel Sover Shekdelim no Yisur Loti to go to do Yeshit Paleb Nusach Chad Kavua. So unlike the But's custom, but it's prevalent in many shuls, as you mentioned, it's prevalent in your shul, that should be specifically one nusach. We kavali fi rova mitbalim goes by the majority, not as is customary in many places that shliach tzibor, who goes up, decides the nusach based on their nusach. Why? Because because the assumption he has is that if everybody decides on a nusach, it's going to look like there are two Torahs. Kach besaga grashaz oyerbach, and so too B'Shem Mazama Paskins. Bina kavah bo yeshit palim nuschim shonim. I don't know if that. I would say nuschot shonot. I don't know if that doesn't sound like proper grammar to me, but okay. If I say that a different nusach, I guess a nusach is different than a nuscha. Okay, nusachim shonim. Ashat yitpalel if you row nusach rova mitpalim. He goes according to the nusach of most of the daveners. Im zeh, I'm sorry. Afi would say nusach shonem and nusach shelo. The machnot tzava v'chule she'emi yakavua. Yitpalel ashat tzvi rov mitpalim botat tefillah. Now this is a very standard psak, and this is the way most people do things in Minhag where there's a nusach. So then the rov determines the nusach, and in army camps where there is no nusach, static nusach, so then you go after the nusach most of the people. Kachora chatam sofer chelkei ashmatas min pei kupeches irshayu b'shtei kilot anashim b'ashkesvaradim gusham yukama. The entire city Nebuch was sent into exile. A new place, a situation is created. One of the kilos has diminished. And it doesn't have the capacity. This is certainly not the way the Chazam Sofer spoke. It sounds like a modern, what's the word? Modern version. What? Rendering, good word. Because it was really the Chasam Sofer, I feel like I have to switch to Ashkenazis. This sounds like modern Hebrew. So this is, it doesn't have the capacity to keep a minion separately, and to take a kid to have an independent kehila. But shoot oto abeit knesset sheyaskimu sheyeh kavua, that shul which they determined should be the standing one. Ve'inach. פשוט, אותו הבית כנסת שהסכימו שיהיה קבוע. ואינך יעקרו מקומם ויבואו לתוכו להתפלל. The others should go out of their place and come into this one to daven. גם אם בהמשך יתרבו המתפללים בנוסח המיעוט, הרי הם בטלים ברוב כמה. This is a chiddush that even if there are going to be many new daveners who come in and they come according to the minority, right? And the minority now becomes the majority. So they're bata barov. What?
He doesn't say they now become the majority. He just says now there's enough that they could separate.
No, but that's what look. Yeah, well, look what that says. Ukulshano inach kilukutai. These are like gathered one by one. Ubetein legabe akfuim afilu heim rabim. They're bata. Those are there, even their majority. This is why the Sephardi poskim, they don't have Mizrach poskim, hold that every Ashkenazi who moves to Eretz Yisrael should have become a Sephardi, right? Because kama batil, as each one came, they should have been batel to the majority of Sephardim. And even if the Ashkenazim ever became a majority, it shouldn't matter, because we don't say like in Yoredea Choser V'Nior that there's enough Isser poured into the heter. So even though the Issa was bata originally, now it wakes up again. No, the Ashkenazim should have been bata Sfaradim one by one. So, and here he's saying, Chazim Sofer saying the same thing about the majority coming in one by one. Even if they come majority, they since they're originally the minority, so therefore they shall be bata. This is usually is not the way it works in Klal Yisrael. It's a beautiful idea, but usually at some critical point, the mass splits up, right? The mass becomes too critical, and it splits up. So this is not really usually done. But I'd like to point out that most of Klal Yisrael does adhere to the original psak that the Shliach Tzibur should take on the minhag of the Kila Ways davening. The one exception to that is, of course, you guessed it, Chabad. The Rebbe said that Chabad Chosid, when he's davening in another minyan, even as Shliach Tzibur, he should daven Ari unless it's going to create machlokas. Well, I can't think personally of any situation where it's not going to create machlokas, but that's why you have Chabad Chosid very often will come and be somewhat disruptive and try and daven his own nusach, even though he is in somebody else's shul. Okay. Other than that, generally speaking, most people abide by this psak. Okay. So again, it's very difficult to come up with the logic which underlies your minhag and the minhag of other shuls of your sort, which is that whoever get ish hayashar beinav yaseh. Really sounds like the pasuk at the end of Shoftim. Bayamim ha'ein melech b'Yisrael ish hayashar beinav yaseh. Anybody wants to get up, gets up, and he becomes the king. So it's difficult to find precedent for that in halacha. I don't know what possible precedent there is, but that is a lot of people, as I know, do that. Okay.
What can I tell you?
Nothing.
We do have one shul where they daven Sfaradi, basically Edu to Mizrach, and
they don't change.
Huh?
They don't change. It's only the Ashkenazi Sephardi shuls which change back and forth.
Right. I mean, once in a blue moon, I've had the Shliach Tzibur there, and I say, wait a minute, I'm Ashkenaz, and they go, okay. So I guess they don't, they let me get away with it.
Uh-huh.
But, it's like, are you sure you really want this?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay, number one. Number one of what? Ezen Nusach. I'm not sure whether there's a number one here.
It's a sub-paragraph in what we're doing.
Okay. Haim utar lishanot miminagod pelok nusach hamakom. Can you switch altogether? Okay. In other words, you come to a place where you've been davening your whole life Ashkenaz and Ashkenazis, and now you come to a place where you're davening Sfarad and Sfaradit. Can you abandon your old minhag and adopt the new minhag? So we saw from Rav Kook before. Rav Kook is opposed to that, right? But
I know people that have changed their nusach tefillah.
Right. So let's see.
From Ashkenaz to Sfarad.
Okay. So, Moshe Feinstein has a tshuva, which he says that it's okay to change from Sfarad to Ashkenaz, but not from Ashkenaz to Sfarad. He says because the original nusach that all European Jews davened was nusach Ashkenaz. And along came the Hasidim and introduced foreign elements from the Eidot HaMizrach, which they, switched around orders and added words. So Moshe said, anybody wants to go back to doing Ashkenaz, that's original minhag. Gesundheit. He would not allow people to teach to switch to Sfard, which you just brought up. Okay? I guess Hasidim would disagree, obviously. That's what Moshe Feinstein says.
This is a tangent, and we don't have to get into it now, but why is it that most Ashkenazim, even those who are not Hasidish, in Eretz Yisrael daven nusach Sfard?
Because it happens to be that it's so true about Balabatim in many communities in in America as well. Because a lot of it depends who came to Eretz Yisrael first, right, and established the minhag. And very often the people who came were from Hasidic origin. So since they came of Hasidic origin, they established nuschot. In Eretz Yisrael, and to a certain extent America, but not the same extent. There's a severe dichotomy between the yeshivas and the shuls. And most yeshivas, and this has changed in recent years, but most yeshivas traditionally daven Ashkenaz because the yeshivas were all of Lithuanian, Eastern European pedigree. Not only that, a yeshiva daven Sfarad, again, this was true. It's true also in America. It was looked down upon because of the Hasidic yeshiva, and it was not from the elite, which is the Litvish yeshiva. So therefore, the yeshivas, because of it's their desire to be seen as classic Litvish yeshivas, they daven Ashkenaz. And even when the tzibur had many the Nusach Sfarad people, but Nusach Sfarad was people who came from Hasidic backgrounds, even if they don't look like Hasidim, they don't look like they're Charedim and Bnei Brak. Nevertheless, they brought their Nusach with them, and a lot of the more Zionistic settlers of the pre-state of Israel were from Hasidic type backgrounds. Does that help?
Okay. That helps. In the States, I have never seen a shul that davens Nusach Sfarad.
Oh, because it's a dichotomy between mono-Orthodox and black hat. In black hat communities, most of them daven a lot. I shouldn't say. It's a higher percentage of people daven Sfarad. If you're davening Young Israel, there's no Young Israel which davens Sfarad, right? Because all Young Israel movement originated. Yeah. Because
that's exactly what I'm saying, is that the shul all daven Ashkenaz.
Yeah. Right, because that's the Minhag America was set before the Hasidim came in. So therefore, like most shuls which have a pedigree going back to before the Hasidim came, daven Ashkenaz. But it's a complicated thing. Let's see what he says here. But I want to stress again before we go on. That's mostly, it's nothing to do with halacha, it has to do with sociology. It's history and sociology. That phenomenon. Of shuls America mostly daven Ashkenaz, and Eretz Yisrael mostly Sfarad. It's a historical and sociological thing, and has to be answered from that perspective. Okay, so Chatam Sven Malet Koshi Abba. If you negate some of the community because of the majority, and there is then those who going after the majority are not going to use their forefathers' minhag. V'api sitrei Torah, api Kabbalah, yesh l'kol minhag shar likanes bo, kamuva le'el b'shem ha'ari. So we have this Kabbalistic problem with that. Who may sheep? שמלכתחילה נקבע שרו שכל אחד לפי שילובו בקהילתו והציבור שמצטרף אליו בתפילתו. So we have to understand that the shar is determined not by where you come from, but the kehillah in which you find yourself. But that means obviously that we have in the Gemara that people move from place to place permanently would take on the minhag of the place where they moved. So that means that they were mishtalev, good word, in the kehillah and the tzibur in which they were joining. Okay?
Right.
Mikom makom nirali, the tchilat kviyat, this is Chazim Sarvi speaking. Assuming it's his Lashon, I'm going to switch. Mikom makom nirali, what?
It says Zel Shalom.
Yes. Kom nirali, the tchilas kviyas aminag v'ashorim, v'mokom gavoa gavoa, the minhag of the minhag and the gates on high. It was also takar for all those who join with them. In other words, the people come along and are mitzaref to the kehillah. Tu B'Av, one of the reasons to celebrate Tu B'Av is because that was the day when they entered Eretz Yisrael, when they were allowed to marry from shevet to shevet. We don't say a lamentation on people going from shevet to shevet, but a simcha. Imamil Yishor, Minhago have a little to do. And yet, if you married into the family of Yisachar and you were from Zvulun, or vice versa, if people kept their minhag, there'd be lotis go to do. But once you moved into the new place, Hare Kamoisam, Mekara Hachi asking Shar Milamala. And the Shar on high was made with that flexibility in it. Okay? Vadai noteret hashela. האם מותר לשום יסחת תפילה גם כשיש לכך השלכות הלכתיות? Can you change nusach when there are halachic ramifications? הקח מישהו בחתם סופר, so the Chazam Sofer says that lo mi by minhagim shem b'chashash iser. It goes that same minhagim which there's no chashash iser, you can change. Feel kol sheyesh bo ktsas nidnun iser. Kamo b'yemei nisan achar chag Pesach. Shashkenazim ein misanim bo v'lo noflim. We don't fast then, and we don't do Nefilas Apayim. Mashayin Asfaradim, I guess the Sfaradim, they do fast and do Nefilas Apayim after Pesach. I was not aware of that. Vahifuch, in the opposite, B'mei Tashlumim Shel Atzeres, in the 7 days after, well, not 7, the 6 days after Shavuos, right? When some Ashkenazim, many Ashkenazim that adopted the Sephardic custom on this, because the Sephardim get it without saying Tachnun. But it used to be that the real Ashkenazim did say Tachnun during those days, right? And would see, and it's like, oh, the days which is also say Tachnun. Midrabanan. And people who fast in that way are over on the Isser. Would be over on an Isser the Rabbanan in each place according to if they when they get the minhag in their places. Come literally Mikamish Nischabru Yachad Hutrosana Yomim. So once you join together, so those days become mutter. So the same thing would be if in probably the most significant minhag, which would change, is the amount of time you wait between meat and milk. In other words, if you move permanently, not to Holland, right? And you used to keep whatever 5 or 6 hours, and now you move to Holland and you mitzvah to their kehillah, you get to wait 1 hour. Okay,
that's pretty cool.
Yes. Unfortunately, if you move back again, somewhere, say from Holland moves elsewhere to enjoy it's a different kehillah, they would have to wait 6 hours. So nowadays, what?
Is this idea of the fact that is this the source for B'nai Chutz La'aretz in Eretz Yisrael keeping two days because they haven't really moved to permanently moved?
Yes, correct. Anytime it's daito lachzor, that's a general principle. Anytime it's daito lachzor, you cannot join the new minhag. If you not ain't daito lachzor, then you can join the new minhag. That's a general principle. Now today, once upon a time, we would have said about many of these things. If you went to Holland, you shouldn't keep 6 hours. And if you moved out, you should definitely keep 6 hours. But nowadays, as Moshe Feinstein writes in his tshuva about Sfiras Omer, we no longer have the concept of lo tasu agudos agudos because everybody lives together. So therefore, since everybody lives together, you have multiple minhagim in the same kehillah. So the Chasam Sofer is talking about a case where there is one minhag which you're joining. That's the minhag in the town.
Right.
But if you say no fire alone, let's say hypothetically, I don't know what it is, but let's say half people shaved till Pesach, till Rosh Chodesh Iyar, and half people shaved from Lag BaOmer till the end, right? So each one can keep their own minhag because it's not one. It's not one unified kehillah with only one minhag. So it have to be of that situation, which is much rarer nowadays than it used to be.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, Yisuri Torah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if a person completely surrendered their identity if this is true. But he says, because I mean, how to check the lungs, I guess what's glut, what's not glut, and what chelev remove and don't remove. I'm assuming that means that whether you eat the hindquarters of the animal or not. So the Chazam Sofer did not want to be Mati Yisuri Torah, only Yisuri D'Rabbanan. Okay? Or, in other words, Minhagim, Mamish. Okay? They're very rare that things are the Raisa.
this does change for a woman who marries into a different kehillah,
Right. So I'm not
right?
sure. Right. So I'm not sure the Chazim Sofer differentiates. It would seem to be that it should be the same
Right,
parameters.
and that's even even for Doraisa things.
Yeah, but there are very few things which are actually Doraisa. You know, what can you think? There's almost nothing which is Doraisa, which changes when you marry into a different kilo. That I'm aware of. Right? Eating rice on Pesach is now Doraisa.
No, I know rice on Pesach, but it's like these things that he just talked about, medikos,
Yeah, but these are things.
bedugma,
These are things which are like.
bedugma, a Sephardi girl who the question is glat doraisa, right? So a Sephardi girl who marries an Ashkenazi guy, she can stop eating glat, for example.
Yeah, that's true. Right. It doesn't have to be Chalak Beit Yosef anymore. But Chalak Beit Yosef, you're right. That's true. It might be an example. I buy that. And that means, so obviously he's learning that marriage is a stronger bond than the bond of Kehillah. At the time of the Gemara, it says if you in Rabbi Eliezer's place, you can commit, you can be Mechal Shabbos to make knives for Bris Milah. So at the time of the Gemara, certainly there was a play. If you moved to Rabbi Eliezer's place, you could make on the rices. The other example the Gemara gives is the Rabbanan. If you went to Rabbi Yosef Glili's place, you didn't have to eat makbid on Of B'cholav anymore. But, yeah, so I'm not sure. We would have to do the Chasam Sofer inside to understand fully why he says the between the Rabbanan and the Raisa. Which we might do, but not until we finish this. Okay, so let us stop here for today, and we will, before we go to Hashalom, so we can wait till next week to make peace, and this week we can just fight it out. All right. Have a good week.
All right, Ishikal.
Okay, bye.
You too. Well, take it easy.
Bye.